Welcome to the video, guys. As you read the title of the video, I feel like as a guy, this is something that we need to learn because growing up, we all been taught the opposite of it. The opposite of being vulnerable, like just keeping things to yourself, being tough. Hell, don't cry in public. You know what I'm saying? Which this does a lot of mental damage to us. Like we can see the older generation, what's happening with them. They're like kinda cuckoo in the head because they're not tapping into their emotional value. But there's some truth to not be too vulnerable, which I like. Like the older generation, although they have their issues, but they learn to cope with it really well and they still function pretty normally. Although it's kind of like sometimes the normal is not that normal, but hey, they cope. But in this day and age, we are blessed with a lot of knowledge, a lot of outlets to open up about psychology, mental health, and whatever it is, right? But as a guy, it's so hard to be vulnerable because we are like hardwired to be like quote unquote masculine. I mean, masculinity is not always about being, you know, just being immovable. But what I found was being masculine and being strong is actually being secure in your position as a guy. Like you are feeling confident in your strength, you're feeling confident in the way you are, that no no matter how vulnerable you are, like you're still that guy, you're still that G. But one thing that you need to be aware also, like you just have to be careful who you are vulnerable with because unfortunately not everyone is nice and appreciate your vulnerability. They might take advantage of it, and this is also the reason why a lot of guys doesn't really, it's really hard for us to open up because a lot of us, when we open up, it's taken advantage. Like our kindness, our openness often, like taking like people take it as a weakness, which makes sense for a lot of guys, especially to be very selective and very hard to open themselves, myself included. But the reason why being vulnerable is very important because you need to learn and to tap in to your emotional values so you can identify what you need to work on, what's your flaws, what's wrong with you basically, like how you treat people, how you gonna how you gonna look back, and then how you gonna move forward. That's the important part because if you're not vulnerable, if you're not open to your own feelings, you cannot fix or you cannot identify what's wrong with you. Like you wouldn't know what you did in the past, and then you wouldn't take accountability for what you did in the past in order to move forward. And this is very important because if you are not aware of what you did and how you feel about basically about your feeling, you wouldn't have any self-awareness, and this is very dangerous because you might be moving on through life just in motion without realizing that you should have fixed something in this point of your life. And then especially at my age right now, with the all the people in my generation, we are in the transition of being an adult. And it's very important to tap into these feelings and vulnerability in order, like, not only you fixing yourself, but also like the people around you can tell you what's wrong with you, like, so you know. Because sometimes even self-awareness is not enough. Like, you have to ask people around you on what's wrong with you, basically. Because there are things that you yourself cannot see from you, and then there are things that other people can see about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oftentimes you may have a habit that you keep on doing that you think it's normal, but apparently it's not really normal. Like, and you should have fixed it. It's so you have to be open to criticism and feedback, because being vulnerable is not only showing your feelings, but being vulnerable is also being able to take feedback. That's the important part. So to summarize this video, right? What's what's really the problem with men not being vulnerable is because we've been taken advantage of. And then what's the benefit of being vulnerable? The first benefit is self-awareness, and then healing and moving on. And the next one is, how do we be vulnerable? First is asking yourself, like, what's wrong with you, and then see what you did and take accountability. And then second is to ask people around you on the things that you didn't realize you did. So that's the video for today. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and happy new year, and keep on pondering.